What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Moose Milk Podcast. This is episode 74. 74 fucking episodes of this thing. Still going. I'm your host, Ryan. Just gonna wait for Mr. at Customs by Matthew to join us. But I hope everybody's doing well. Canada Day in Canada, obviously. So, long weekend here for everybody. So, kind of relaxing, hopefully, for everybody else out there, too. But, yeah, this week we're going to talk The Boys, Season 3, basically the entirety this far, so it's episode 1 to 7. We haven't talked about it really at all yet because we were on a break for almost a month, and last week we talked about Obi-Wan Kenobi, and we still haven't really talked about Miss Marvel, so next week I think we're going to cover all of Miss Marvel and the finale of The Boys, but this week we're just going to do a straight up boys discussion. It's two sexy boys on The Boys. That's exactly what you wanted. Here's Matthew.
Look at this guy.
Two sexy boys on The Boys.
Better believe it, baby.
Oh, shit. That's funny. Good, man. What's going on? How are you?
Not much. Really excited.
I totally lost track of time.
Sorry,
I was just outside puffing away, and I'm like, fuck, I gotta go. I'm out of time. I was gonna get it.
That's what happened. You start smoking away the time, and before you know it, it's here.
It's gone. It's gone.
Yeah, I just passed out on the couch for an hour, so.
Oh.
Absolutely.
That can be dangerous.
Yeah, I always set an alarm, because otherwise I might not wake up for the fucking pod, but.
Yep.
Yeah. How was your week? What'd you get up to? I know you had a busy streaming week, so.
Yeah, I did. Stream. I did, Wednesday night. Wednesday night I did.
I almost spit up my drink.
Wednesday night I did Shelf Shuffle, and I redid my Deadpool Wolverine shelf.
Nice.
Got the Deadpool stuff done. It's pretty funny. And then yesterday I was on Toying Around's Unboxing Thursday. So that was pretty fun. It was it's like a Canadian, he does, weekly toy talk stuff, and yeah, it's
unboxing.
Cool. Yeah, super nice guy. His community is they're real good peeps. So
it's butter or something.
What's that, sorry?
What did you keep calling them, butter or something like that?
Yeah. Okay. So so Toying Around, Kevin, he got called. He got the nickname the Butter Baron. It's a long story, and it's just
sure.
Yeah. So his the group that kind of hangs out and the chats and stuff, they're called the Butter Nation. So
it's as weird as moose milk.
It's good. Well, that's what we kind of talked about yesterday. So when we were chatting, we talked a bit about moose milk, and I said, "Yep, our new system is 2 big glasses of moose milk. That's as good as it gets. 2 big ones."
We have a very light rating system.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. It's good. I like it.
Yeah, no, I mean, what does 5 stars really mean if you don't have 2 glasses of milk to coincide with it?
I agree. And really, it'll be even more confusing when it's 1 glass and 1 and 1, 1 empty and 1 full, because it's
what do they really mean?
What is it? Yeah.
And just don't want 2 empty glasses.
Yeah, so while I was on there, I unboxed my the Secret Santa Summer Swap.
Nice.
Age
That's
of
really
Apocalypse nice. Mystique. Yeah, he did a great job. It's done by Famous J Customs.
Nice.
So yeah, I made the remember that Luther I made from Umbrella Academy?
Yep.
Yeah, that went to him last year. So
cool.
Yeah, and then I know I already showed you this, but this is the star of last night's pickup.
Yeah, that's really dope, man.
And it's funny because when we were there, Kevin's that's not really the, if you don't pick up one knowing that you're going to want to get the rest of them based off that one.
Yeah.
But my idea was I can just do Donnie because he's my favorite. And then this morning,
yeah, no, I mean, I mean, that's the way I would went to for sure.
Yeah. Well, because like the thing is how many sets of turtles can you have? You know what I mean?
I mean,
And
do you
for
ever
me,
have
the
enough
answer
turtles?
is gonna be is soon to be 5. So that's good.
For people that are not listening or not watching on video, showing a old school Donatello
Oh
figure.
yeah, sorry, I have to remember that.
Yeah.
It's
No,
a
it's all good,
super.
buddy.
It's a Super 7 Donatello action figure, and it's very very nostalgic. It's very reminiscent
It's straight out of like the cartoons almost.
they're actually based off the toy line. Like that's they're copying
Yeah.
off the toy line. So like in the cartoon, the 4 turtles didn't have the different colored skin.
Right.
The toy lines they did. That's where like that came from, and that's
Gotcha.
the 4 turtles have that. So, but this, yeah, I just fucking love them, man. So nice.
Really cool, man.
Yeah. So, yeah, I opened a lot of cool shit yesterday. It was pretty fun.
That's dope, man. I mean, I saw you streaming. I just couldn't watch because I was at work every fucking night. So
Yeah, I get it, man. It's all good. So, what have you been up to? Did you watch anything good this week? Hey, what else happened? I feel like wasn't there something else? I feel like there's
Stranger
something.
Things.
Stranger Things, yes, that's new. That came out yesterday.
That came out today, technically.
Oh yeah, I guess technically.
Like at 3 a.m. today, so almost 24 hours ago. Yeah, I know. It's the last 2 episodes of season 4.
Nice.
Basically, it's like one episode's an hour and a half. The second episode's 2.5 hours. So they're basically mini movies or full length movies. But yeah, no, really good, really fun. If you like Stranger Things, it's more Stranger Things. It's just long episodes and really kind of concludes the season, but definitely leaves a cliffhanger at the end to set up the final season of season 5. Really good. I really enjoyed it. Very 80s, very, very fun, nostalgic. Obviously, The Boys.
It's not the season. It's just the season finale, right? Like
there's one more season. I'm sure it won't be for 2 years. I mean,
right. Yeah.
It takes forever to make these shows. I mean, maybe late next year or something like that, but I have a feeling it'll be 2024. But yeah, I watched The Boys, obviously. Still watching Miss Marvel. And I wanted to recommend the new Coheed and Cambria album and the new Alexis on Fire album. Both came out last Friday. Really, really good. Really, I mean, this is the first Alexis on Fire album we've had in, I think, 13 years or 14 years. Really, really solid album. I really, really like it. It's heavy at parts. It's got like kind of City and Color vibes on a couple songs. Like it's all over the map for their styles, and yeah, it's really good. And Coheed's albums, I think their 10th album.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah,
I still listened to the first 2 albums like on a pretty normal basis. Like,
yeah, no, I mean, I really like those albums, but like as their catalog grows, like I honestly think those are like 2 of the weaker albums overall.
For sure. Well, that's normal, I think, right? I feel like sometimes that's pretty normal, especially a band like Coheed and Cambria.
Yeah,
like,
I mean
they're pretty complex. They're not like
Yeah, they've only gotten more complex with their like guitar riffs and just multiple guitars kind of interbalancing and interweaving around each other all the time, and like it's I don't know, their storylines, crazy comic booky, nutso stuff. Like I have a hard time even following some of the storyline at times because it's just so like in depth. But I mean, I just like the music. I mean, lyrically they're great, and it's just my type of great.
It's your
guitar
jam.
riffs. Yeah, so I don't know if you don't like Coheed and Cambria. I mean, you don't like music, in my opinion. I'm sorry. Really
I feel like that is probably not fair to say.
I mean, you don't like rock music. I mean, it's some of the best rock music out right now.
Like, are they like a radio? They're like not on the radio, are they?
They were. I don't know if they still. I mean, I haven't listened to the radio in 10 years. I have no idea what's popular on the radio.
I say that. I should. Yeah. When I say they're not still on the radio, but that I actually mean is like, are they popular? Like, do the general audience, like if you walked up to 20 people, would 10 of them be like, oh yeah, I know who Coheed is?
I don't know. I mean, but I feel like I don't know about any music I like at all anymore. Like,
that's fair.
I mean, Jimmy Eat World was playing a small venue in London, and I'm like, does just nobody care about them at all anymore?
Dude, I have to tell you that I think Jimmy Eat World puts on one of the best live shows that I've ever seen.
I've seen them like once way back in the day. I think after Futures, maybe, or what's the album after Futures?
Chase This Light?
Chase This Light. I might have been that tour. I'm not sure.
Not sure how I remember that.
Yeah, I know. I have no idea how you told that. They were supposed to headline like an 89X show, and Paramore was supposed to open for them, like right around when Paramore started, before they got like super huge. And they flipped the fucking the order of the bands, and Jimmy World opened for Paramore because Paramore blew up like right in that time. And I was fucking so angry that I paid to see Jimmy World headline a show, and then they fucking opened. That I left after Jimmy World, and I love Paramore now, but at the time I didn't like them at all. So yeah, I was fucking pissed, but that was the last time I seen them, and that's got to be like 2000.
And you didn't even get to see a full set then, because they probably played
I think they played 10 songs
because they were opening. Man, I have to tell you, if you get a chance to see them in a small venue and it's in any way affordable, I definitely recommend it.
No, they're playing.
I saw them in a small venue in Vancouver, and like
they're playing London Music Hall, and it got delayed like I think 3 times because of COVID.
Right. So now it's finally opening.
No, I don't know if. Oh, it's open. I see Mother there like in May, but like I don't know. I don't remember if they canceled the show or if they just kept delaying it, and I sold the tickets because I was sick of sitting on them. But
yeah, that's fair.
I don't know. I don't remember what happened, but I didn't end up going to see them. But yeah,
if they come back around, I do recommend.
Metric's playing the same venue, and I'm like, this venue holds 1,200 people, and Metric's playing it. I don't understand. But maybe Metric's not as big as I think they are. I have no idea.
Yeah, I feel like they're probably not. But then again, I didn't think Coheed was, so maybe, I don't know. Like, what the fuck do I actually know?
That's what I'm saying. It's like, unless you're like...
for trends,
yeah,
you're literally talking to the wrong person.
Totally. I don't know what's on the radio, and 97% of the time when I'm somewhere there is a radio playing, I don't recognize the music that's on it because I don't know any popular music. So,
like, if I see like a music award of some sort, I'm like, what the fuck is this? Who are these people? Yeah. I don't know anything.
Totally.
Which is weird because I used to know everything.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just because the popular genres of music have changed so dramatically to like not really our style of music that like we're just out of the loop completely.
Yeah,
but that's fine. I mean, it's kind of fun not knowing what's popular anymore.
I agree. It's good. You don't feel as old.
Oh, I feel super old. I mean,
it doesn't
constantly.
Help.
No, I mean, I sat up wrong and my back was hurting, and I was like, oh god, this is brutal. But other than that, I don't think I've been doing anything else really. I mean, I had a pretty long week at work, and trying to quit my job. So
got to do that.
Got to do that.
Did
you watch anything else or do anything else fancy this week?
What did we watch? We watched. We started watching season 2 of Murders in the Building or whatever. Only Murders in the Building, yeah.
Yeah, I saw him watch season 1, but yeah.
Yeah. So it's on. I think there's only 2 episodes out, so we watched both. So
I'm just not a Steve Martin fan at all, so it's like so hard to watch.
To be honest, I'm not like. It's not like I'm like, oh, Steve Martin, so good.
Yeah.
And like, to be honest, none of them, but like they're just like it's less of like that's a hilarious show and more of a like it's just like a pretty enjoyable show. It's like fun to follow along. They have cool little like cliffhangers and stuff, and it's not like anything insane, but it's just it's fun. It's good. It's like it's enough to entertain you and be like, cool. What happens next? Let's see what happens.
I have like 3 different reality shows starting this week, so I'm just out of time.
That's funny. Yeah, I got what do I have? I've convinced Kate to start watching Stranger Things.
Yes.
But like I'm away next week, so like I'm going away for work next week. Fucking sucks. Piss me off.
Man,
I'm leaving Monday.
Your work loves shipping you off places, I swear.
Seriously, so fucking stupid. Seriously.
Oh, quit your job with me, buddy. We can start our own company. It'll be Moose Milk Incorporated.
Moose Milk Inc.
Yeah, I don't know what we'll make, but we'll do something.
We'll figure it out later.
We'll figure it out after we quit our jobs. Well,
that's fucking great.
Anything else? What are you thinking of Miss Marvel? I mean, we'll get into a lot next week. But
next week. I'm enjoying Miss Marvel. Like, again, I think I had said to, I think it was maybe on my Wednesday show, that like the nice thing about going into it thinking nothing about it and just being like, I'm gonna watch this because it's in the MCU and like I have no real interest in it. The character doesn't really excite me, and like I feel like it's playing to a different audience than me, which is fine. Like I don't really care. I just like I want to keep up with it, but yeah, that's really is saving me here because it's just like I'm enjoying it just for what it is. It's just like it's cool visually. I find it pretty cool. The story's interesting. Like
I feel like it's like really stylized, like Scott Pilgrim. Like it's just very comic booky like that, and like I just love it. I just think it's quirky and funny, and it's cute. Like I love the characters in it, and I don't know. It's good. It's surprisingly good.
Yeah, I agree. So it'll be interesting to see how it all like fits into the greater universe. But yeah, I mean, I'm for it so far.
Was it you that, I mean, before we get into the boys here, that told me that Thor's tag at the end of the movie is like apparently like huge?
I didn't, but I did see that somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, that apparently it's like
setting the stage for the next.
Setting the stage for the rest of the phase and the rest of the movies. And like, there was an interview with Feige, I think, that said that we know everything like where this phase is leading and what exactly it's building up to within the next like month. So I'm assuming that he meant Thor, but
right. That I didn't even put that together. Cool. That's great. I mean, that's what you've been wanting. So
that's what I wanted exactly. So I'm like, finally, we're. I mean, we can also talk before we get into the boys too. Is the weird. I mean, casting things that have kind of popped out this week that I mean, I don't really know if any of them are real, but so like the whole Gillian Anderson as Moira McTaggart for X-Men. I don't know if that's real or not. I love Gillian Anderson. Obviously, I just rewatched all of the X-Files. I'm a huge Gillian Anderson fan, but I think that casting was good. I mean, I don't know if it's real and how far off that is. I mean, I assume years at this point, but
to me, if that's the case, it depends on what they're going to do with Moira. Like, Moira in the current run of X-Men is, like, super important because we discover in the current run, don't quote me on this because I didn't actually read it. It's all through Wikipedia, just looking it up. But she basically, like, every iteration we've ever met of her in the comics through all of time, and she's literally been around since the 80s, like, is a different version of her. So, like, she'll live out her life, she dies, and then she starts over again as the same person, but just like at a different time and place with all the memories of her past self. So apparently I think like in the current run, she's like on her last life or something like that. And like, she plays a pretty big part in the current like overall story. So if they're going to use her in some kind of way like that, I feel like that's a pretty good cast because I feel like you could have her at different ages too, right? Like she doesn't look super old, but it would probably be easy for them to add stuff to make her look a bit older and probably at the same time take a little bit away to make her look younger without it looking too digital looking. So depending on how they wanted to use it, they would like if that was the way they were going to go, that might be cool.
Yeah, no, I mean, my dog is barking at somebody outside right now and it's driving me crazy, but and they're setting off fireworks at my all over. So.
Yeah, fireworks. I'm surprised we didn't hear any.
Fireworks, man. I'm fucking so annoyed by them. Anyway, I like Gillian Anderson as a casting choice. I mean, it does depend what exactly they're doing with the character, but I think she looks the role, and I mean, she played like a scientist / doctor / whatever for years on the X-Files, and like she could totally pull that off and do that well. So, I don't know. And then the other one is Howard Stern as Doctor Doom, or at least starring in Doctor Doom. I mean, it's very unclear, but
yeah, it's pretty
It's very odd. I can't see that being real. I could see him being cast as like a radio DJ or something within the Doctor Doom universe, like a very small cameo thing or something like that. But I can't see that being like a huge, like, you're a guy that basically doesn't do much acting. Here you go. Like, I don't know.
Doesn't do much acting is not an actor. Like,
well, yeah. I mean, he does like judging and shit on reality shows, and he's done. No, I know, but well, it is to a point because you got to, say you've got things to say, and you have to be presentable in front of a camera.
Yes.
I mean, I guess this is acting then too by my standards, but
please like and subscribe.
Yeah, exactly.
Acting skills.
Brought to you by Monster. But yeah, no, I assume it's like something weird, small. I mean, it's a movie that's completely unannounced, and I don't think they're going to do a standalone Doctor Doom movie before they do a Fantastic Four movie.
I don't either, but I do feel like Doom's coming, so it wouldn't surprise me that.
No, but I could see that. I could see that being like a tag at the end of a movie or something to set up like right before the Fantastic Four movie comes out, or like a couple movies before of going like, oh, here's Doctor Doom, and then down the line setting up Fantastic Four kind of thing, but. I don't know, like, do you really think they would do a whole movie on Doom before Fantastic Four? Like, that seems outrageous to me.
I also read that he said he was going to run for office and that Bradley Cooper was going to be his running mate.
I assume it's a joke. I can't see that being real. I mean,
yeah, me neither.
Right now with American politics is like, I mean, anything could happen, and I would believe it at this point. Like, they could say like, hey, we're moving the White House to the moon, and the president's going to live on the moon from now on. And I go like, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it's American politics. I don't know. Like, so yeah, totally, 100%. He could be running, and I would see Americans voting for him because it's a name they recognize and they know who Bradley Cooper is. And yeah, it wouldn't surprise me in the least. But I don't know. I mean, if that's true, then he's definitely not going to be in a movie.
Yeah, totally. Also, that'd be terrible. We need to stop having celebrities as presidents. We've done it. We did it. It didn't work.
It didn't work. No. Yeah, let's not do that again.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know where his politics line or anything like that. It has nothing to do with whether he'd run as a Democrat or a Republican. I just think you need somebody that actually knows what the fuck they're doing to get into office.
I agree.
Anyway, so that's the two little weird casting things that we saw this week. I don't know.
Yes.
Who knows if they're true or not, but let's talk boys. Let's get boys on boys.
Let's talk boys on boys. Hey, did I tell you before we do, I ended up rebooking my Thor tickets for that Screen X, that new theater. Did I tell you about that?
You told me about the theater, yeah.
Great. Then on to the boys.
Your pothead memory is just phenomenal. I mean, I have a terrible memory too, so it doesn't really matter. But the boys. So we haven't talked really at all about this season yet. We're 7 episodes in next week, so finale.
Spoilers
what do you think?
The boys.
Yeah, spoilers for the first 7 episodes
for season 3 of The Boys,
and the entire series. So if you've never watched The Boys, definitely fuck off, go watch The Boys, and then come back later because The Boys is a must
we'll
watch.
Talk you into watching it. Trust me, it's amazing.
Phenomenal, and
it's amazing.
Any comic book fan that at all likes this kind of stuff and you're watching this, you should be watching The Boys because it's the best of the best.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Yeah, the show's fucking batshit crazy, like anything goes, and I love it. I love every moment of it. I never know what's going to happen. Every time they cross the line, I think, how can you cross the line any more than you already did? And then they do it.
Next episode.
Yeah, and it's like they don't care if they're making fun of shit that openly in the States at all. Like they bash American politics. I mean, the new episode, they totally rip apart Donald Trump at Homelander, and it's just like it's wild. It's nuts.
Yeah, man, it's pretty good. It's a really good social commentary, and it's very relevant to the conversation currently.
Fair.
So it's and the thing is I don't know how intentional. I mean, I know that was the intention, but I don't think they realized, they couldn't realize what the current landscape is looking like there, right?
Totally. I mean,
we're like politicians being paid off by corporations, and it's just,
I mean, that's always been the case. That's the problem.
I know. I know that.
That's the American politics for years, but the fact that it'd be so on the nose as it's coming out, and I assume they filmed this throughout last year.
That's what I mean. Like the fact that it came out,
it's very spot on.
Yeah, it's really crazy.
But yeah, like it's very social commentary. It's definitely like the polar opposite of what Marvel and DC are doing.
Yep.
In that, like, it's saying how silly these characters are by also making them really intriguing to watch and really interesting to watch, and you root for them and you hate them, and your morality flips depending on what's happening in the show. And I find that really weird, just because there's characters I absolutely hate, but I can see where they're coming from a lot of the times,
Yeah.
Like Butcher for sure. Like this last
episode was a great Butcher episode.
Yeah, and you hate him for the choices he makes, but then you also you love him. Like, I'm rooting for him. Like, I want him to make the right choice, with Huey and everything. And yeah, it's a very compelling show. I can't believe how well written and well acted it is for a comic book show. It's just it's crazy.
Yeah, man. It's funny because I feel like in just this past month we've gotten two of the scariest villains, with Darth Vader from Obi-Wan and Homelander from The Boys. Yeah. Like, man, honestly, Homelander is fucking terrifying. It's like what Donald Trump would be if he had superpowers and wasn't an idiot.
No, I totally agree. Like,
it's crazy. It's scary, dude. It's so scary.
Every time he enters a scene, I immediately am nervous about what's going to happen, because you say the wrong thing when he's present, and he just snaps, and you can see it in the way his eyes change. And I think his name's Anthony Starr, the actor. He's just fucking phenomenal at selling that character. And I like, even what's his name? The soldier guy there.
Soldier Boy.
The soldier guy. Yeah, Soldier Boy.
Even him, Soldier Boy, dog.
Even him, like, in these last few episodes, like, he enters a scene and I'm like, oh fuck, like, I don't know what the fuck this guy's gonna do. And I love that they think they can kind of control this guy, but it just time and time again, he's just out of his fucking mind. Like,
losing it.
It's great.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's really good. This season is very, very good. So this is one of those ones that, like, I kind of forget about, and then it comes out. So it's like I'm not usually really excited for it. I'm just like, whatever, let's do it. And then I get into it, and I'm like, oh my god, I forgot how fucking good these are.
Yeah. It's crazy. There's only one episode left, and like, I really feel like there's so much more to do in this season. And like, I know most of the episodes are an hour long anyway, so they have time.
At least we get good length out of these episodes.
I feel like Soldier Boy's got to be in the next season. Like, I can't see them wrapping this all up in the next episode.
Yeah, I mean, so we kind of leave off this week's episode finding out that Homelander is actually Soldier Boy's son, who, like, is like the better version of him, like the enhanced version of him.
Yeah, they're basically,
because they're all like produced, right? Like they're
they're purposely like breeding them out, and I mean they're produced as they are, but like
when we say we say Bot Company. Bot is like, like this big huge corporation who's in charge of all the superheroes.
Basically, the superheroes agents, but like, if a corporation was as evil as possible, I mean they're covering up all these if you have not watched this show, like, these superheroes are out, like, killing people, raping people, fucking stealing, doing drugs, like,
behind the scenes, though.
All this corrupt ass shit. But Bot comes out and covers it all up. It makes it look presentable, and like, they're just famous actors, and they're heroes, and they're doing, it's if, all of the famous actors that in this real world were all like out murdering people, and there was an agency that just covered it up constantly, and you never knew. And that's kind of what the whole show revolves around, is that all these superheroes are fucking morally bankrupt completely. I mean, the last episode, they basically were at like a fucking, fuck party for the entire episode. Like, it's fucking wild. Yeah. Hero-gasm. Yeah. I mean, it's it's all with the superpowered people at a fucking
orgy
house, just
I like
fucking
the guys-
orgying it up in like all the different powers they're using to basically fuck each other, and it's just like it's wild.
when they opens the door and the guy's giant ass dick comes out and it's like a big old snake just kind of circling around them.
Yeah. Like this is a show that does not shy away from like massive sexual content and
No shortage of that.
super violence, and like it is definitely a show not for the squeamish, but
No.
it's awesome. Like it's
Yeah,
so
it is.
funny, and yeah, I just like even the whole Black Noir thing in the last episode
Yeah.
where he's in
With
that
the
like
cartoons.
Chuck E. Cheese, yeah, and like as soon as that started, I was like,
What is
if
this?
you would have gave me a million things to put in the boys and been like, Ryan, what do you expect in this next episode? That would never have even came up in my
me
mind
neither.
that there was going to be an animated fucking Chuck E. Cheese like cartoon creatures.
Violent too.
It reminded me of South Park when they do those whatever it was, like the Critter Christmas or whatever the fuck it was.
Oh,
With all the little
Hail Satan.
exactly. It reminded me of that, where basically like we're learning Black Noir's backstory.
Yeah.
He doesn't talk because he's literally had like the living shit beaten out of his face, and he basically is deformed as fuck. And
Can't talk.
so he basically is just like this mask wearing black figure that doesn't really say or do anything, but we learn like his entire backstory through his imagination of these cartoon characters acting out his life, and it's just like
It's crazy.
nuts. It's crazy, but it's awesome. It's funny as shit.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff, and again, right? Like it reminds me a lot of Invincible. You didn't watch Invincible, did you?
I watched the first episode. I didn't like it.
Yeah. Reminds me a lot of Invincible, and especially in terms of like how violent it is and how like bloody it is. Like,
Yeah.
there's been some pretty crazy stuff. Like, some of the standouts for me are like, I think it was the last episode. Yeah, it was the last episode. The week before the Hero Gasm, where A-Train takes I can't remember the other guy's name, and
Blue something.
Blue something. So A-Train's power is that he runs really fast. So he like basically takes this guy and like puts him on the ground and just runs. And it's just like, it's as if a guy just went through like a giant human sander and just like, it's like half of his body is just fucking gone. And it's like, oh my God, this is so fucking messy. And then the other one that really stands out was, I think the first or second episode was where the little dude, Termite was it? I think his name was, where he like shrinks and goes into the guy's dick hole. And then he sneezes and he grows big and blows him up from the inside out. Oh, gross.
That was the most fucked thing I think I've ever watched in a show.
Yeah. I remember when you texted me, you're like, oh my God, dude, this is fucked.
Like I remember in the last season when fucking what's his name? The Deep was like trying to rescue that whale or whatever, and they fucking blow up the whale. And I was like, that's fucked. Like there's so much blood and like everybody's covered in blood and gore and everything like that. And I was just like, man, they always blow my mind with how they can take it up one more notch. And then the beginning of the season, I was just like, okay, we're now crawling in penises and blowing people up from the inside. Basically like Ant-Man changing into a normal sized man. Basically what everybody wanted Ant-Man to do to Thanos.
Yeah, exactly.
They put in the show, and it's fucking disgusting.
Great about this is like, it's like they can play in the realm of superheroes. They can play in the realm of politics, and there's like all this stuff that like is just ripe for comedy, and they fucking just nail it. Like they nail it,
Yeah, no, it's exactly what like you want to see in a Marvel movie, or at least I want to see in a Marvel movie. Is like I would love, if we got a movie or something that was like violent and
me too,
over the top, and like it was like what fans always have wanted to see out of some of these characters, and just like that's what if should have been live action. It's like, yeah, what if Captain America wasn't a good guy and he fucking went off his rocker and just fucking took his shield and bashed it into somebody's skull until they're dead, like. That's basically what Soldier Boy is, and it's fucking crazy, and it's like, Homelander is, if Superman was fucking out of his mind, and it's like, this is fucking wild because, it's a terrifying idea for a person like Superman that's, indestructible and shoots laser from his eyes. And if he just didn't give a fuck anymore and he's like, oh, you pissed me off? Okay, dead. Like, it's fucking crazy.
Remember that? I think it was from last season when Homelander is getting bombarded by the press or whatever, and it's in his head. He just like laser eyes all of them and just fucking like slaughters like this huge field of people, and it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Insane.
I loved Starlight in this episode.
Yeah, me too.
I love how she's slowly becoming like independent more and like realizing that like, fuck this, I'm not following these dudes and like I'm gonna do my own thing and fuck them over. And like I did not see her having the phone running in her pocket that whole time.
That was great.
And the whole time I was like, oh fuck, she's gonna die. She's 100% gonna die. Like he's gonna fucking rip off her face right now.
How we just said when Homelander walks into a scene and you're like, you get uneasy? When she's standing there waiting for the elevator, I figured she was gonna get caught somehow. But as soon as Homelander walked on, I'm like, she's going to fucking die right now. Like, she's not coming out of this.
I really thought that's where the show was going to go, is that he was going to die. And then
to the end of that season, so I figured if something crazy going to happen, maybe it happens in this episode, and then we spend the next one fighting about it.
Well, that's what I thought. I was going to say she's going to die. He was going to find out, and then he's going to jack himself full of fucking, part-time V or whatever the fuck it's called. And fucking... just Hulk out basically and just go nuts. And then it didn't happen. And she's secretly recording him on like their version of Instagram or TikTok or whatever the fuck it is. And, just basically underlining how like fucked up Homelander is to the entire public, which this is definitely going to blow up at some point where somebody's dying this next episode. I can't see how they're not.
Somebody important, I think, is going to die next episode.
I don't know if it's Huey though.
I don't think Huey's gonna die. I really like Huey. I like the
love him.
That he's like. I like how what this season's doing to him. It's interesting.
It's making him not so vanilla. Like he finally had a sense of power, and he's playing the everyman that would be that way, right? Like if you went from the guy without any power, you're just an average, scrawny dude that doesn't really have the ability to fight, especially in this universe. And then all of a sudden you get a tiny taste of what that power is like.
Yeah.
And, that's exactly how it would go is you'd get addicted to it. You'd want that power all the time. And, I think it's like so easy to relate to him.
Yeah, I agree. I also really like, Frenchie and, what's her name?
Kaneko,
yeah. I like their relationship this season too. It's interesting it's cool getting some of Frenchie's history too. With,
we never really got it.
Yeah, exactly.
His background at all. So
same with Mother's Milk. It's cool to get both their stories a bit more.
Yeah, I always wondered like why they were with Butcher. And obviously, like, I'm sure in the comics, if people have read the comics, I'm sure it's explained, in a far greater detail. But they never really touched on it until this season. And, like, we're finally getting that background. I mean, even this episode with Mother's Milk or whatever, him, wasting his, like, kid's stepdad or whatever. Like, I don't know if he killed him, but he definitely fucking left a mark there.
Yeah, I don't think he killed him, but he definitely, I think the thing they were showing, though, is, like, his daughter saw him do it, right? So it's like kind of makes him out to be this like terrible person. And
it's gonna drive her in. Like that could be a person that dies too. It's like his family or his daughter or any of that. Like Homelander is gonna definitely fuck them up at some point.
Yeah. The other thing I thought is if something happens where Frenchie does die, imagine what's gonna happen with Kamiko and like especially now that she has her powers again. Man, that could be another fucking bloodbath.
I kind of think that they're kind of setting it up for Butcher to die.
I am too.
And that would be a real big bummer because I think Carl Urban is fucking awesome in this role.
Yeah, man.
I wish he wasn't as old as he was because like so many people were like, oh, he'd be perfect for fucking Wolverine.
Yeah, for sure.
And he's like, dude, I think he said he's 60.
Yeah, Yeah, it's hard because Wolverine doesn't really die
Oh.
either, so you need someone that can stick around.
He's 50, so yeah, it's like, I'm 50 now. By the time this movie would come out, I'd be, 52, 53. Like, he's like, I can't play this character for another 20 years. Like, there's just no way. So, but he would be perfect for the role. And
I agree.
I just love his character as Butcher, but like, I really think that's got to be kind of his redemption, right? Like, they kind of set it up in this episode with everything that happened with his brother.
Yep.
And him still, like, the big crux of that storyline for people that haven't seen it or want to know is, he got his father was abusive, and basically, he left to escape an abusive home, and his brother stayed, and his brother ended up committing suicide because he couldn't take the abuse from his father anymore. And he kind of has taken on Huey as like kind of like an adoptive son in a way. And they find out that the temporary V that they're taking, I called it part-time V, but I couldn't remember temporary. The temporary V that they're taking, which basically gives them like a 24-hour period where they can become a superhero, and then it fades away, is actually killing them, and is known to like cause lesions and shit in the brain, and like the amount they're taking, it's gonna make them die. And he knows this information and decides not to tell Huey and just carry on. And I really think that like that's going to be the next episode, is like he's going to jack in and fucking swipe it away from Huey or something and die in a fucking hail of fire. I don't know. That's my guess, but
yeah,
I hope not, because I love this character.
Me too. I hope I feel like maybe he'll come around to telling Huey just because Huey kind of just saved him. So like,
that's true.
But yeah, I'm interested to see how it all kind of comes to an end. I really want to see the end of Homelander's story. I want to see what happens with Maeve, because she's currently caught. I think she's like captured, right?
Yeah, she's captured, and that was a fucked up scene too. Is like,
yeah,
Homelander basically telling her, "We're gonna harvest your eggs and fucking produce superhumans," because she's afraid that he's gonna rape her, and he's like, "Oh no, I'm not gonna rape you. I'm just gonna harvest all your eggs." And I'm like, oh, sweet God, this guy is a fucking monster, man. But
yep.
Yeah, I hope she gets a redemption arc too, because she's really not been in much of this season.
Yeah, no, she hasn't been doing too much here. So, but I feel like she'll play a part in the next episode. I feel like there's a part to be played, and I feel like it'll be a good time for her to come out and kick some ass. So, but she could always be the one who dies too. Like,
oh, I think she's done. But
yeah,
we didn't even talk about the whole Deep thing.
I was just gonna say, what about the Deep?
This show has no balance. So the Deep is basically, for people that aren't watching it, Aquaman, like our Aquaman ripoff, where he has gills and can swim underwater and talk to fish and all this shit. But of course, in The Boys, they take it up to 11, where he's basically fucking octopuses on the side of fish. He has a wife, and the wife's not good enough for him, so he's fucking an octopus, and wants to incorporate that as a threesome with his wife. And it's one of the most fucked up scenes.
It's pretty weird.
It's so fucking gross and weird.
Yeah, it's weird. It's very weird.
But that actor
that happens at the what's it called too, at the sex party, the orgy, right? Herogasm.
Yeah. Chase Crawford is the actor, and I don't know how he can do these scenes with a straight face. Like, I would have such a hard time acting that.
Yeah, for sure.
It's crazy. It's so weird. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with some of these characters. There's so many characters now that I really think they have to kill some of them off. But
yeah, well, they have kind of started to.
They have, but like, I just don't think. Like, I don't know if you can really kill Homelander, and I don't know if you can really kill Soldier Boy yet. Like, I feel like that's going to be the crux of the next season.
Yeah, I don't feel like Homelander will die. I think Soldier Boy will probably die.
I don't know, because like they're kind of setting it up that Homelander's got to go.
But the harder part for me here is like like maybe the world will see what Homelander becomes this time. Like maybe he won't be part of Vought. Maybe Vought will correct, but like his story will be a big part of next season probably, if like if he steps away, or you know what I mean, like maybe
Well, that's what I mean.
Maybe Dr. Manhattan's and decides to go to the moon and stay there for a bit, and then
I just kind of think killing Homelander would show how like corrupt the whole thing is, and like I mean, I can't see them doing another season where Homelander's like the enemy or the bad guy. Like, I think you kill Homelander and then you have Soldier Boy carry on, and he's like the next. He's out of control as it is, and now they don't have somebody that could actually take Soldier Boy down. Like, it's back to.
Right.
We've created another problem here, kind of thing.
To me,
but
Soldier Boy feels like he's an easier opponent than because the thing is like, yeah, Soldier Boy is like built tough as shit and super strong and whatever. But I mean, the thing with Homelander that takes him to the above is he has the laser eyes and he has the flying, right? So it's like
we also have Homelander's son that's going to definitely play a role at some point.
Yes, I agree. So I don't think Homelander will die. I feel like that character is way too important. I feel like him and Butch, Billy Butcher both can't really die because I feel like they're both kind of like the faces for this. So
but see, I feel
like Starlight could die, but I will say that it did feel like they were setting Butcher up to die in this. But I don't think he will die.
But that's what I'm saying is like almost every character feels kind of important enough where I can't really see them killing them. Like I can't see them killing Huey off. I can't see them killing Starlight off.
Yeah, me neither.
Butcher, Homelander, like they're all too important of characters where I can see that.
You could get rid of Frankie. You could get Frenchie. You could get rid of Mother's Milk. You could get rid of
and then it would be side super like the Deep or fucking A-Train or. I could see A-Train just because they're kind of giving him that arc of like him realizing how fucking corrupt and like shitty and racist these superheroes are, and him kind of having enough of it, and them kind of putting him in a spot with the heart transplant thing.
Yeah,
really like, oh, we're gonna now monetize basically everything that's going on in your life. Like, I kind of feel like his redemption arc would be like dying for, the good, the cause, whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, so I could definitely see that. So there's definitely enough characters to kill off if they wanted to. Like, there's probably a good 5 or 6 that you could, same Maeve is another one. It's like I would hate to see her go, but like it wouldn't surprise me at this point. Like, she's kind of played her arc at this point, and
And I mean, what's her name? The Nadia,
the girl, the head exploder.
The head exploder. Yeah, she's got to play a role somewhere too here. So
again, she could very easily become the big bad because if she can just explode anybody's head, maybe she finds a way to make her power stronger or something like that. Or for her daughter, she's going to do whatever she can to save her daughter. So that's kind of been made clear, right? She's
sure.
So
and then Ashley too. That's like running Vought.
Yes. She's crazy too, man.
She's out of control completely, but I feel like she has her her comeuppance is coming, I think.
The thing is when it ends with Homelander being ahead of Vought, then she'll be on too. Like that'll be the end of her story too, probably. I think so too. I think that's the finale. It's like Vaught's kind of done and out, but I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, it should be interesting.
It's such a good show.
The thing is like you said, there's still so much ground to cover. So like we'll get more next when the next season comes out. But
yeah, I hate these breaks between seasons because they're so long, and there's so much to watch, and it's not like I'm hard pressed to find something else to watch.
Yeah,
like I said,
it just sucks to enjoy content but not get it fast enough.
Yeah. I mean, the break between some of these seasons is getting 2-3 years, and it's just like, fuck, man. I mean, The Boys has been pretty steady outside of COVID.
Boys has been good. Yeah, Boys has been really good.
But Umbrella Academy was 2 years. I think this break between Stranger Things seasons, I think, was like almost 4 years or three and change. That's because of COVID. But it's crazy too because like when you start Stranger Things, these kids look so young and so childish, and now with the new season, they look like they're 30 years old, and it's just fucking weird.
That is kind of weird.
Yeah. The Boys. I mean, if you're not watching it, you're missing out on one of the best shows on television. Period. I don't know.
It is bloody, so if you're not,
it's definitely not for everybody. But if you're into superheroes, I mean, I don't know how young some people are that are watching this, but I mean, you probably should be over 18 watching this.
Over
It's
18.
fucking brutal. It's violent.
I guess, yeah, there's nudity. But I mean, really, honestly, how many kids are like, oh, I can't watch porn. I'm not 18.
Yeah, I'm sure none. But I mean, I don't know. Kids are crazy these days. I don't know what the fuck they're doing.
It's true. I don't have any idea.
They're on the TikToks. They're doing crazy shit, man.
They're on the TikToks. They're on the TikToks. They're on the whatevers. I don't even
fucking
know.
Snapchats and shit. I don't know what's popular. I'm sure there's something more popular that I don't know about. I don't fucking know. I want to go back to MSN and ICQ, man, and just get rid of all this shit.
There you go.
Those are the days. We'll get you to do all the fucking sound effects for it, and it'd be great.
ICQ.
Yeah, but I miss it.
I bet you most of the people who watch this or listen to this will have no idea what the fuck that is.
Oh yeah, it's back to old man corner again.
Yeah.
Oh, remember this? And
that was an OG messaging system. That was like the OG. That was like the first. I think that was one of the first ones, wasn't it?
ICQ probably. I don't know. AOL Messenger, MSN Messenger. I mean, they were all same era, but
yeah. Ash Reaper says, "What's that black car behind Moose Milk?"
Batmobile.
Oh. Sit, boo boo, sit. Good dog.
The new Batmobile from the Batman.
That's the Technics one, right? The Lego one?
Yeah. Just some lighting up.
That's dope, man.
You can't really see, but it lights up. It's cool.
That's sick.
I dig it.
Hells yeah. This spider figure I got from Into the Spider-Verse figures. Let me just crack this thing. It's pretty cool. I opened it yesterday as well. And it has... get out. Open. There we go. It has a cool light up feature. Ready?
Yep. Oh, you can see that. That's good. That's dope.
I know, right? I like it. I wish that I could like make all the lights go off with like a switch. I know that's I'm sure you probably could. You'd have to hardwire it, but I mean,
yeah.
But how dope would it be to be able to just turn like all the LEDs light in your whole case, and it's like your case lights come on and your LEDs for everything come on? And...
Oh, totally. That'd be dope. I mean, we're good. We're definitely going to get there because fucking everything's got Bluetooth in it now, so you should just be able to turn everything on.
Good point.
I mean, you should start doing that yourself. Just get crazy with it.
So there's these really cool display cases I found online, but they're like super expensive, and the wait to get them is like 8 months. And but they're awesome. They're like dust proof, and like they're you can like use magnets and feet and stuff because the walls and the ceilings are all metal.
Oh, that's awesome.
And one of the things that I wanted to do was like take some magnets. So I have these like ring magnets and put fishing wire in. And then I could actually like have stuff hanging in the top parts of the ceilings as well. Like so any flying characters I want, I can actually have them suspended without having like big bulky stands and stuff like behind them.
Sure.
So then you could like move them around too because they would be magnetic. So I could just pull the magnets and
way less work.
Yeah.
No, that'd be awesome, man.
I know. It'd be really cool. And it'd be cool to put LEDs. I saw there's a person I follow who does like colored LEDs to kind of set moods in certain kind of like little scenes. But his is all he has like a basement, and it's like all throughout the basement, kind of like on the upper parts of the wall going onto the ceiling. And it's so cool because you'll have some where it's like behind them, so it's casting this big shadow and like.
Well, you see some of those like Twitch streamers and shit like that like actually have like really cool like LED setups and everything like that, and I'm like always so jealous of all that kind of stuff because I think it looks awesome, but it's just money.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I like how they do them with the TVs behind it. You know, you can have it like bleed off the edge or whatever, and it matches the colors. It's like, dude, that's fucking nuts.
Yeah, it's real cool.
Yeah, it's
one day, buddy. When we strike Moose Milk rich, you know.
Yeah, pour that moose milk all up on me.
God willing. God willing.
God willing.
What else do we got? Anything? I don't know. I feel like I don't. Anything else on the boys? I don't know.
Overall, boys, you should watch it because it is a fucking treat. It's really good. It's a bloody old time, but it's really good. I think this season is the best season. What's been your favorite episode so far of this season?
It's so hard. Kind of the first one, just because it blew my mind when I seen it. But I mean, none of the episodes so far have been bad. Like they're all fucking awesome.
None have been bad,
yeah, like I don't know. I love the last episode too, just because of how it made me tear up, all the butcher stuff, and like I just really love like how the show is so like confidently written. Like it's so that they know what they are and they know it's nuts, and they jump both feet into the nuts.
Yeah.
Like they don't care, and it's still a really good show. Like there's so many shows that you'd be like, oh yeah, it's really weird and crazy, but it's, you know, it's hit and miss.
Yeah.
It works every episode. It's just fucking great, you know?
Yep. I agree with that.
It's on Prime Video for people that don't know where to find it. It's on Amazon Prime Video. So, if you're a Prime member, then you already have Prime Video. Just go fucking watch it. It's great.
Yep. It is amazing. So fucking good. My favorite episode so far has been episode 6, with Hero Gasm was the best one. And it wasn't because of the Hero Gasm. Like that was funny and it was interesting.
It was, yeah.
That fight at the end with Homelander versus Butcher versus with Soldier Boy and Huey was fucking insane, man. It was so good.
Yeah, I mean, it always tops itself, and yeah, I love every character in a different way, like I said, and it's just you root for the bad guys even just because of how fucking creepy they are, and I love it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, again, it's weird. I just love how unique it is. It's like the hard part is it's hard to sell that to somebody who's not a superhero show fan, because it's like it is still technically a superhero show, but it's just like, yeah, it's, you know, trying to explain it, you can't really do it justice. I've tried to explain it to people, and I'm just like, man, I'm not doing it justice. You just need to watch it. It's fucking crazy.
And I think it's easy to spoil, and you don't want to spoil too much. But I also think, it's definitely for a particular crowd. I could never get my parents to watch this show. Like, you know, it's too crazy violent. It's too sexual that, like, I think a lot of people will be turned off immediately because of that. But as long as you're like open and not easily offended and squeamish and everything like that, like the show's perfect.
This is perfect. Ash Reaper says, I'm so far behind on the boys. I need to watch season 2 and 3. I think season 3 is probably my favorite season so far, so it's very good.
Take the long weekend if you're in Canada and just watch a season, and you know, it's only
even if
8 hours.
In the US, it's a long weekend because Monday's 4th of July, I think.
Correct. Everybody gets a long weekend.
Yeah.
So fucking just binge it.
Mm-hmm.
You can get through it pretty quick. They're about 8 episode seasons, an hour each, so.
Just binge it. You know, just
hey, I watched 5 hours. I watched The Boys, and then I watched Stranger Things back to back. That was 5 hours straight.
Not everybody has that kind of time, Ryan.
You can binge it over a week. Watch an hour a day.
You definitely could. Yeah, I do an episode a night. When I need to get through something, that's how I make it. That's how I make it like work for me.
To me, it's so easy to just make dinner, sit down to eat dinner, pop it on while you're eating, watch an episode, and then by the time you're done eating, the episode's, you know, basically over, and you go on with your life and go back to doing whatever you have to do that day, you know, chores, kids, work, whatever. I don't know. I think anybody that's like, oh, I don't have time to watch an episode a day, I'm like, that's not true. You always do.
Yeah. So, I mean, again, I guess it just depends on your priorities, right? You know,
yeah, well, of course.
When you have kids,
but that's what I mean. If you want to get through it, you can get through it.
Yeah. Yeah. One a day is usually achievable. So.
Yeah, totally. Get up 45 minutes earlier for work and fucking binge an episode before you go to work. I mean, lots of solutions.
Ash Reaper says, yeah, I'm in Canada from Montreal. Cool, man. Happy Canada Day. And Go Figure Go says I got 2 left. I'm assuming he means 2 episodes left. Catch up on
So
it. The last 2 episodes of
episode.
The Boys have been fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole season has been really, but
Yep, it's just a bummer we got one left. But it's okay.
It is.
Yeah, I think that's the end of the episode. I don't know. I don't have anything else that I got to pimp.
No, I got nothing. It was awesome. That's a great one. Yeah, I'm excited to talk to Miss Marvel next week. And yeah, man, I'm really bummed that we can't talk Thor right that first week. That sucks. Especially now that I know that end credit thing is out there.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to get ruined for you before you can actually fucking see it. But, I mean, you've seen shit out too.
Like 16 fans that'll send shit out and be like, hey.
Yeah,
you know what? I've been trying to go somewhat spoiler-free into the MCU stuff as of late. So, but I feel like it might not be easy to do that this time. So,
yeah, I think if it's huge, you're going to see it on social media. But
yeah, I do
too. Who knows? So yeah, next week will be Miss Marvel. The following week will be Thor: Love and Thunder. And after that, not really sure. Also, I should say that the podcast may be changing days in the coming weeks. My work schedule got changed, so instead of Fridays, it's probably going to be Saturday nights for the most part. It might be the odd time where it's a Sunday night. Yeah, just the way it's got to be. I didn't have to say over it, and that's why I'm looking for a new job. So, yeah. So you guys are aware, for people that like to watch the show live, it'll probably be Saturday nights for the most part from now on, after next week.
After next week.
But yeah, you should also be following Matt, because he does lots of cool shit on YouTube and
I'm going to eventually make a new video for YouTube one day soon, one day.
Making new videos, doing fucking Wednesday live streams.
Yeah, Wednesday live streams will keep going, but until I finish these shelves, I'm not going to do another video until I finish. I want to finish. It's a huge job, and it makes my office look crazy. Look at this thing. It's just like shit everywhere.
Yeah, for a freak like you, that's a lot.
It's annoying, and it's like that for like 3 weeks. I'm like, yeah, I can't have that. Longer. I've already been doing this for 4 weeks.
Doesn't bother me in the least.
It's annoying as fuck. It harshes my mellow in a big way.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So yeah, follow Matt at Customs by Matthew, and then go to his YouTube channel and subscribe and follow his shit in there and watch his videos, because they're all great. And he does a lot of guest stars on a lot of podcasts. So you should be watching those too.
Yeah, for sure. Go follow
Help
Toying
support.
Around.
Yeah,
he's amazing. You'll do it as a favor, but you'll stay because the content's really good. He's such a good host. He's always on top of everything. I suggested to him he get like a technical difficulty screen, so like if something ever happens, he could just throw it up as like his screen. Yeah. I said it could be like a stick of butter that's like melting, you know?
That's great.
I know. I thought it was good.
Oh, fuck. I wish I had the time, and I wish I had the know-how to do all these little things.
Me too.
But
I wish I had the know-how for that stuff. I'm not good with graphics and shit. So.
No, me either. Yeah, follow me at We Smoke Media on Instagram. I also have a YouTube channel, or you can get the podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. I looked into that Amazon Music thing we were talking about last week, and it doesn't even have an option for it.
Yeah, that's weird.
But I know you can take the link. Like a lot of podcast services or whatever you can put the URL link to the actual podcast into like a search bar and find it that way.
Okay.
So if you go to that page in my bio on Instagram, there's a link there that you can post
Just
into.
Go to each episode?
Yeah.
Nice.
Or you can add it to, like, I know you can add it like I use Podcast Addict on my phone as a podcast service outside of Spotify. And you can put the link in a search bar there, and it'll pop it up and add it to your podcast thing. So that's always an option too. But yeah, the website that I use to host all the episodes does not have an option for Amazon at all. So
okay, good to know.
Sorry,
I think he was going to watch it on Instagram anyways, because I was like, oh, you can just watch it on Instagram.
Watch it on Instagram. You can watch it on YouTube. Whatever's easiest.
Yeah. Girl.
Our podcast art is done by my sister at Jeannie Milne Art, so you can go follow her on Instagram as well. And that's it. That's the end of the episode, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, girl, you know.
All right, buddy. Well, thanks. Have a good night.
All right, you too, man. See ya. Happy Canada Day.
Yeah, you too, bud.
Peace.
See ya.